Has history recorded anything of importance to indicate that this Jubilee trumpet is sounding? We so believe. Did anything happen beginning in 1874 that was significant? What has happened in the last 130 years? Historians have noted that the 19th century outdistanced any other like period in its growth of knowledge and rate of change. And we are now 4 years into the 21st century. The 20th century was greater than the 19th. And most of us have been born and raised and educated in the 20th century. And haven't we witnessed many, many remarkable inventions and changes in the world? I believe that the 20th century has outdistanced the 19th, and the 21st centuries will outdistance the 20th, all in accordance with the prophecy of Daniel 12:4. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. It is interesting to note, I'll give you a personal relation of what has happened in the 20th century. I remember the first, I was always interested in electrical things, and so when I was about 10, 11 years old or so, I built a crystal set. You ask today, what's a crystal set? My father built a radio, and he had I don't know how many tubes. Ask a young, the chiropractor that I was going to, I said, do you know what a radio tube is? He says, no. What's that? And when I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh, there was a young man in our class. He became interested in thermistors. And I thought that was odd. What in the world could you use a thermistor for? But he got into that, and the use of thermistors is worldwide, and a technology that is going out. The advance in electrical equipment is just fantastic. We have, and not thermistors, but we have just left me. Transistor radios, but everything is with that technology today. And so we see that many of these changes are remarkably like the provisions of the Jubilee. Man is being returned to freedom and to dignity. An example is that in 1874. In the United States, there was a woman, Carrie Nation, the famous temperance movement advocate, and she said that women should have an equal status with men. She wanted women to be able to vote, own property, and end discrimination in divorce laws. And this was 98 years after the States' Declaration of Independence that was signed by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776 in Philadelphia. The women of the United States began clamoring for their rights. It was 46 years later, on August 18, 1920, in this country, that the 19th Amendment was ratified, finally giving the right of women to vote. 1920 was also the year that the League of Women's Voters was founded. In 1878, there was a woman, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, a noted American woman suffrage reformer, that urged Carrie Nation's cause before the Senate Committee on Privileges and Elections. Supporting the women's suffrage movement was Lucy Stone, who was known as an American reformer, and for her lectures throughout the country on women's suffrage. Susan B. Anthony, born in 1820, she died in 1906. She campaigned for 50 years for women. For women's suffrage, and she was, of course, honored by our government by minting the Susan B. Anthony silver dollar from 1979 to 1981 in her memory. And this was the first time that a woman, other than a mythical figure, appeared on a U.S. coin produced for general circulation. Susan B. Anthony was 54 years old in 1874 and was part of the grassroots campaign for women's right of voting in political matters. And that's what this word suffrage means.